Yay Networks.
Hello, everybody! Y'all, this is so special for me because I am here with the beautiful, amazing, gorgeous Pastor Taffy. I mean, her name is Pastor Taffy Dollar. I've often been kind of jealous of that last name because it's prophetic. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like dollar, bring it on. The wealth of the wicked is stored up for me. Yeah, you did a what? Dollars.
How about that?
I'm going to start calling you Pastor Taffy Dollars.
I'll answer.
But I am so excited that all of you are joining us today. We are here with this incredible think tank, Shark Tank. I'm talking business people from all over the world, traveled in, came to Limitless Church, which is a church I'm so privileged to pastor. And if y'all could see the beautiful humans that are sitting in this building right now, and this is only the second time that I've had a live audience, and I'm doing this for all of you watching. You should be at the next one because I am on today. We always have retreats every 6 months where I bring whoever wants to come in and I pour into them, man, for like 48, 72 hours. And we added today as a moment for us to share. I'm sharing some of my besties for the resties with all of them, which I'm giving tips today. We're going to be giving tips. We're going to be showing them how we do it, how we get up even when we want to lay down, how we look like we got it together, but we got safety pins holding up our dress. And so there's several people in this room, like probably 100 of women in this room, men in this room that I would love to have seated up here because they are changing the games in their world. Some of them have had to start over and they're just getting their fire back. But you're looking at, in this room, if you could see millionaires and billionaires. And I'm talking people that are literally going to change the world. And I get to be the president of their fan club and I'm excited about it. So welcome. For all of you watching, I want you right now to stop what you're doing and go to the link below. You'll see whether you're watching on Real Talk Kim YouTube channel, subscribe. Podcast on Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, anywhere you're watching podcasts. I put one up on Monday and Wednesday every single week. Monday is a sermon I preach Sunday, and then Wednesday is one of my guests or just me welcoming you into our house. And this is our house today. And so make sure you subscribe. And while you're at it, share this right now. Share this with your followers. Share this with somebody because this may not even relate to you, but somebody in your newsfeed needs it really bad. So share this right now, subscribe. And again, thank you so much. Go get your journal. Y'all know I believe in writing notes down. Go get your journal right now. So get your popcorn, get your jammies, whatever you want to do, because we are about to chop it up with one of my very favorites on the planet that is killing the game. She's an incredible wife. She's incredible. How long y'all been married?
Going on 38.
Wow!
Long time.
I said, Pastor Taffy, if you put all mine together, I'd be 38. I'm still going to have about 20 years under my belt with my sweet man. I did, girl. What?
Come on.
Okay. And I'm going to get into it with her, and I'm excited about this. So you go right now, go use the restroom so you don't have to get up for the next 20 minutes. And we're going to come right back and chop it up with my girl, Pastor Taffy Dollar. I love you. We'll see y'all in just a minute. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Pastor Taffy Dollar. You so bad.
Oh.
Y'all welcome Pastor Taffy Dollar.
She's
a mother.
Glad to be here.
Y'all, she's a mother. She's a wife. She is an entrepreneur. She is a boss chick. She preaches about equality.
Yeah, I love it.
You got a voice and I love that. So
Yeah.
tell the people about yourself.
Tell them about myself.
Because we know a lot about your husband.
Yeah. Well,
But you his good thing.
I think the fact that I didn't grow up in church, and so I wasn't churched, and still don't really. I mean, even though it really was more me being married that kind of got me into the place that I am with really loving people, because I had never really envisioned myself being in this place that I'm in. So it's I feel like I'm a late bloomer, Kim.
Me too.
Yeah, I feel
I didn't
like
even preach my first sermon, Pastor Taffy, till I was 41.
Yeah, see, I'm just like now blooming and feel like I really got some traction under my feet. So
Pastor
yeah,
Taffy, do you think it's because you were busy raising kids and being his wife?
absolutely. And things just took off. They grew.
Yeah.
Things were happening so fast.
And you were
hadn't
first
envisioned all
lady.
that. Yeah. So you're trying to figure out and keep up with what's going on and trying to be there for everybody. And sometimes you forget what's really taking place because it's happening so fast. And even now things are going on so fast. And it's like you really have to be intentional about what you want to do, because if not, the time gets away from you.
When you say late bloomer, what does that look like? Because you look like you've always, doesn't she? I mean, you just think they always had it together. When you say late bloomer, there's a lot of late bloomers in here.
Yeah, well, I wasn't really blooming. I think I was just kind of there. I felt like I was kind of a flower on the wall, just kind of watching things go by for a long time, for like decades, raising kids and trying to be the best wife and trying to, build artist careers and all this kind of stuff. So I was there to support, but personally, there was a lot of things that I really wasn't doing for myself. You know what I'm saying? So I was so focused on everybody else.
So what did that look like when all of a sudden you were like, I got it going on?
Well,
I am a brilliant person and I'm ready to get my life started. What did that even look like?
Well, when my youngest graduated from college, that's when it kind of dawned on me. It said, okay, wow, now we're empty nesters. What can we do? What I want to do? Now it's a chance for me to kind of be more intentional and focused about it. So that's when I looked at my husband. I said, do I like you? Do I still love you? Do I still want to be with you? And all those answers were like, yes. And so I said, okay, we got a good thing here.
Yeah.
It's not just trying to get the kids out the door for school every day.
But how was he with this evolving?
Oh, it was tough.
Tell us. Do tell.
Even now, I'm still kind of reminding and redoing our script, because it's not like it was when we first got married. And that's normal for marriages. You change. You're not the same person.
I love that.
That you were when you first married him. So it's like, now I'm free from fear, a lot of fears that I had, and just
people pleasing.
Insecurities, inadequacy, self-consciousness, all of that is just going out of the door, because I know God loves me and I don't have to prove anything to be loved by anybody else,
Man, so y'all listen. So I love this because they are such a
we're opposites.
Y'all are so opposites.
Yes, oil and water.
Oh, and I love it so much because I remember when I met you, you let me come preach at your conference when I was wearing tutus. I was off the...
and combat boots.
And combat boots. I was like off the chain.
It was cute though.
Thank you, Mama. I just felt myself back then. Now I'm just like, why did you let me do that? But it was that season of branding, that girl. But I remember last year, I was doing Woman Thou Art Loosed, and you texted me and you said, hey, I think I'm going to come. You think, is it good? I'm like, yes. And I wasn't thinking, because, when you think about Taffy Dollar, you think she got like 50 security guards. Their airplane got all of this press. The whole world, Christian world, everybody knows y'all, right? And y'all have been under the microscope. And so I'm around churches that'll have 12 people in their church and 15 armor bearers. And so I'm like you. It ain't nothing for me to go to the mall by myself. I'm like, what? But I thought you wouldn't do that. And I remember you texted me and you're like, I'm here.
I can't get in, Kim. I need some help. Kim
I was like,
me in the room.
I was like, wait, Taffy Dollar, like,
it ain't happening.
You the Taffy Dollar. And she said, I can't get in.
Yeah, get you some
I said, girl, I'm sending my security to come get you. And I started laughing because, I take care of my girls. Like, man, listen, when I tell you I will wash this woman's feet, like when I'm in her presence, like I'm talking a whole lot right now because it's my podcast. But if we were sitting at lunch, I'd sit and listen. When you have people.
You were so sweet. You said, come on.
But I was shocked.
And I got dressed. I ran on. I was like.
And you didn't even tell your husband.
He's used to that. He knows I'm just like. He'll find out when I get places where
She said I left Creflo in the theater watching a movie. And I didn't tell him I was coming. And then I found out it's because she came by herself.
Yeah, I did.
Yo, she parked in the furthest parking spot. She walked all the way in by herself.
Yeah.
I had to go get you.
I know you did. And
but that did something to me, Pastor Taffy.
Wow.
Because it let me know that a lot of things that stop you is in those seasons where you need to be reinventing yourself, because there's Michael Todd's coming now. There's all of these people that are now coming forth, and we could have the propensity to be like, well, we're outdated now because this millennial crowd don't know who we are. But instead, you are shifting the narrative and you're putting yourself in rooms now, and you ain't too prideful and you're not too called. There ain't one bone in your body that is like, serve me. I literally have watched churches that I preach at where the church will have 50 people in it. And I'll watch the pastor's wife look at her assistant and be like, and I'll look at her, and that little assistant's like, trying to get her lipstick out of her purse when she's got her own hands and can get her own lipstick out of her purse. And I sit there and shake my head when I am in rooms with people like you, that this is why God is using you and your husband. This is why this is your season. And I'm going to prophesy to you. This is your season. This is your season to shine. This is your season to evolve, where you're going to show women that you can evolve and that you can be you're going to be the face. You hear me? He going to be making your food. I'm just kidding. That's a little much. I got a little carried away.
He makes my food. He's a good guy.
I'm just kidding.
But
Pastor.
I think, the fact that what you're doing now, you're supporting people, you're sharing, just an open book, and that's what we need, and that's what we love about you. And the fact that, when we were in Mexico and we were talking about Woman Evolve and just women's ministry and doing the empowerment of women, you said, Taffy, it's not about what's taking place in Atlanta, what was going on at the World Congress Center. That is what it is. We all have our assignment.
Yes.
And the fact that we can support each other, we're not too caught up in what we're doing that we can't pop into somebody else's convention or somebody else's podcast and say, hey, I love you. I'm here for you. I appreciate what you're doing. And let's do it for the kingdom of God,
Man. And that's what I love so much, because that's exactly what you're doing. Y'all, this woman right here will pop into millennial conferences. I bet they don't even know who you are. To learn.
Yeah. We can learn from anybody.
Yes.
We can learn from any person, any age, people on the street, homeless people, people in the hospital.
Yes.
I mean, we don't know it all.
Yes. And I believe that God puts us in those rooms to learn. And here's the key, y'all. If you stop putting yourself in a box, you're looking at two women up on this platform that have never put ourselves in a box. How old are you?
I'll be 60 this year.
Black don't crack. Black don't crack.
Get the numbers. It's like, ooh, okay, new decade. Here we go. I'm excited though.
60 years old. You do not act it either.
I feel good. I just trying
she
to
don't
stay
look it,
healthy.
does she? Y'all, and she's so much fun too.
And you know what the key is? I realize is not getting stressed out.
Yes.
Because stress is what makes you sick, ladies.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
We
can get so enamored with everything and everybody in our minds and in our thoughts, and just get worked up over the least thing. And like Kim was just saying, being mean and being, we're the center of everything. But it's like knowing how to cast that care over on God, have boundaries in our lives, you know what I'm saying? And that'll keep you healthy.
I want you to talk about, that was so good. I want you to talk about, how do you go for what God's called you to do when a spouse isn't 100% pushing you to do it? because we got a lot of women in this room, and not saying that Pastor doesn't. I know Pastor's got your back, but you are evolving into this person now that is completely different than that person that used to be there for every little nick and question and food and supper. And you got some women in this room right now that their husbands are not supporting them. What would you tell them?
Continue to walk in love. It's not easy. It's not going to be a cakewalk, but you can do it. And God's grace will help you every step that you take. And just let your light shine. Be you and do what you believe you're supposed to be doing. And just be a walking book. Be a epistle, as the Bible says, and they'll pay attention. They may never get on board, but that's okay. You're the one who's supposed to do what God is leading you to do. And whether or not people get on board or whether or not they think you're crazy, that's on them. You're not responsible for their reaction.
Nope.
We're only responsible for what we're supposed to do. And that's all we can do at the end of the day.
So they should not do it.
They should do it. Continue to do it.
But some people are like, well, he doesn't see it in me, and he's just giving me all kinds of pressure, and I just might as well not do it at all.
I think you should continue to do it.
How many of you feel like you're going through that right now? Come on, lift up your hand where you feel this, because this is huge, where you feel like that your spouse or your kids aren't supporting you, and you feel like that needs to be the first people that support you. That's a lot of times the last that supports you.
Yeah. And I think you have to follow the Holy Spirit too, because God is going to direct you on when not to do things, when to do things.
Yeah.
And not to just be all chaotic in your life and trying to prove a point to somebody. I think we have to hear the voice of the Holy Spirit while we're doing what we're
so
doing,
good.
Because
Yes.
He can tell us, and He knows how to get a person's heart. He's working behind the scenes. Lord, pray, I want you to let them see what I see and open their eyes, and you know what I'm saying? That they see what I'm trying to do. It's not about me and things like that. And He will. It takes patience. And faith.
Yeah.
So
in this room, we've got some people that have kids that ain't living right.
Mm-hmm.
And the enemy is probably telling a lot of us, who are you to lead? Who are you to do this or that if your own kids? And I love this about you, because you don't make your kids live in a glass box.
Yeah, I realized I went away last year. It was around this time to Colorado to this retreat for people in ministry, and it was only me and about 5 other people. And so I said, I just need to get away. Creflo had been sick for about 6 months. Cancer came back, and so I was just like sad. I mean, I didn't even know why I was sad. I was just sad. And I said, I just need to get away. And one of the things I realized when I got away, Kim, was that I was looking for my kids' approval, looking for my husband's approval. And I said, the therapist asked me, because we would do group sessions in the morning and like individual sessions in the afternoon for a couple days. And she asked me, she said, why do you need their approval? And sometimes I think we have to ask ourselves, why do we feel like we need our children's approval? I mean, it's good if we can get people's approval. We want to be approved by them. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's like they're immature in certain areas of their life and certain things they don't understand. And so we just have to pray for people and realize that God's got them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are we to think that we can, get them saved and change their life and make them live a certain kind of way and not want to do certain things? And I remember how I was, how crazy I was, and I see it in them,
Yeah.
And so it's like going to come out over time, but they're going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the one lesson that I've really learned, Pastor Taffy, is that I would never make my children live in a glass box. And I got one that's crazy. I just don't share his name on my page. Because I want him to grow and be and find his way. And the greatest gift that I realize is that they're so proud of me, because they watched me go from ratchet to righteous. They watched their mom, and my fruit is showing them Jesus. Because the fact of the matter is our kids have they've seen a lot.
Yeah, it's been tough.
Man, they see a lot being a preacher's kid.
A whole lot.
And so me and you talk about this quite often about our
do.
kids and just let them be. And so tell us what 2024, 25, 26, 27 looks like for you. What you got up your sleeve, girl?
Oh my goodness. I just don't want to get ahead of God. And I'm just being very prayerful to know exactly. I want to be like what my husband calls a barefooted priest, and what he wants, I know, is what he'll bless.
Yeah, he does it.
Yeah. And the blessing comes from me doing and us doing what he wants done. And so there are some things I know he wants done this year. And
can you tell us?
Yeah. So we're relaunching our human trafficking outreach ministry.
Yes.
So we go into strip clubs and we go into hotels all over the city of Atlanta.
I want to do that with you.
Yeah, you got to come.
I want to be right in the middle of it.
So we've relaunched that, and we're going to do quite a bit of it online, just digitally, reaching out, making calls, getting all of our resources and scholarships and things together to help these women get off the pole, get them out of these hotel rooms, get them out of human trafficking, and to be restored back to their families and what God has for their life.
I love that. What made you love that? Because I had to be a passion.
Oh, God. I mean, I told God, I said, God, I've done a lot of crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Tell us.
I mean, I wasn't a dancer.
Only for your husband.
Wasn't getting paid for the crazy stuff.
I'm just kidding. I'm getting married.
Yes, you are. But it's just God's sense of humor that he would put an assignment on me for something like this. Because I just feel like a fish out of water, but I just see him sending the people.
Yeah.
Sending the women to the office.
When you feel like a fish out of water and you don't know what you're doing, what is the first step? Because there's a lot of people in here that feel like a fish out of water.
Well, for me, I'm a person who does a lot of research. So I try to find out people who are already doing what I'm doing and are doing it well. And so I reach out to them. Like Dr. Betty is my mentor, and she's been that since I was in college. And so I reached out to her and went to her women's conference, 40 years ago, before they built like the Faith Dome. And that's kind of how I started doing women's conferences.
Yeah.
And she's just been that voice in my life. And when we do human trafficking, I just researched the people who had already been doing it and had them to come in, maybe have a conversation over the phone, see if we kind of gel just based on
I love that about
where they were and what they're doing and if it was a good fit for us. And so we just had a training last week and trained about, 30 people. And they're ready to go. So
you just go online and tell people we're opening up for volunteers to come in. Is that how you do it? Yeah. That's how they would do it for their ministries or their businesses?
Absolutely. Put it on your social media and just say, this is what I'm doing. If you want to get involved, then, just email here and we get those emails and just start, jump on a virtual and talk about it and see if what they have a passion for connects with your passion. And God just is either God or it's not. And take some time to pray about it.
And you know what I've discovered, y'all? And it is that if God is in it, it works.
Yes, every time.
So every time they say things like, well, I just feel like the enemy's fighting me. The enemy is not at your house every day. All right? A lot of times it's because we're out of order. Mm-hmm. Because we've looked at social media and we are looking at an influencer or a preacher or an author or whatever, and we're trying to become them. Mm-hmm. And instead of being us. When you do what God has called you to do, there's nobody else that can do what you do.
That's right.
And when you become authentically who God created you to be, it just works.
Every time.
It's not always spiritual warfare.
No.
Do you think it's always spiritual warfare?
No, everything in spiritual warfare.
Like chasing devils?
Right.
Do you think so?
Mm-mm.
I don't either.
Yeah. It's no devils in Fayetteville over this building. It's none of that.
No, or in the plane.
No. Nuh-uh.
Like every time I get on the plane, Pastor Taffy, I'm like, y'all are safe. I'm on here.
That's right.
Because I know we have authority.
No sugar demons, no Krispy Kreme demons, no butt cake demons.
Nobody wants your husband demons.
Come on. Yeah, it's just like, we turn everything into a demon. Church I went to, everything was a demon.
Girl, I see these movements online. Everything's a freaking demon. I'm like, it's you.
Kim, they had paper bags, brown paper bags. And they used to pass them out to everybody and cough into the bag.
That is so contagious.
Some people were spitting up in the bag. You seen all that stuff, right?
Listen, I had it happen here one time. There was somebody in our church that was a demon chaser. She'd be sitting in the front row and walk in the back. I'm like, how did you know somebody back there was wanting to spit up? She'd call for a bag, and before you knew it, that lady was sitting in the front and just stuff's coming out. And I was like, not in this house. No. We have the authority.
That's right.
In this house to speak to that devil to go. Now, I do believe some people are so eaten up with, some people don't need therapy. They need deliverance.
Yeah. Possessions, right?
Possessions. Like you open some doors that need to be shut, but you ain't got to walk through this long carried out. Do you want to come out? Do you want to come out today? Them demons are like, no!
No, they don't want to come out.
You got the authority to say, get out.
Yeah.
And let it go. You know what? We're going to go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we got 4 minutes, and I want you to encourage these people.
All right.
I always hate when people say, girl, I'm going to just throw it to you and let you preach. I'm like, but it's in you. So y'all come right back. Go subscribe. Tell your friends about this podcast, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're so excited that you're joining us. I'm so excited because I've had my girl, Pastor Taffy Dollar. Pastor Taffy Dollars.
Dollars, right.
And man, she's got my heart. I prayed for friends because I knew about a year and a half ago, I want to be a wife. Like, I don't want to be playing with these jokers out in these streets, being a girlfriend. I want to be a wife. And I started learning how to cook, and then I started praying for friends to come in my life, and God sent me you. And he sent me Dr. Dee Dee. I never used to think I'd ever want to go on vacation with women. I was like, nah. Now I go on vacations with y'all, and I'm like, wow. We have the best time. Clean, fun.
Just having a ball.
So listen, we're ending.
Yes.
It has been so much fun with you the last 30 minutes. You have changed the game for all kinds of women in this world. One is me. I honor you. I respect the heck out of you. I'm thankful that you are so humble. I'm so thankful that you keep reinventing yourself, that you didn't just go lay down and die and get you a personal shopper at Neiman Marcus and just sit in there with your little toddy and think you're retiring. I'm so thankful that you have God in you and that you are trailblazing. And I want you to tell us right now what is next. Speak into these women's lives because they are going back into their cities, and tell them what God is telling you for other women that you're leading the pack for.
Yeah. I mean, make up in your mind that 2024 is going to be your best year. You know, we're in a season where darkness is just trying to prevail and overtake everything, everybody. And you have what it takes on the inside of you to flourish, to blossom. The gift of God is there. He put it there. He knows you more than anybody. And so trust him with your life. Trust him to just speak to you, and surround yourself with people like Kim and other people who have crossed the finish line and can help you get there. You don't have to be in their personal space, but maybe get their books, their videos, be teachable by them. And I believe that the windows of heaven are just going to fly open in 2024. And you're going to be able to see things and experience things that are your dreams.
Yeah.
Far higher and better than what you could have ever imagined because God is with you and God's going to be with you. You don't have to do it alone.
No.
You don't have to try and figure it out.
No.
You're not stranded. You're not
No.
without. I'm telling you, you have everything that you need to be successful. So just make up in your mind, you're a decision away of going forward and reaching your highest potential in God. This is your moment. Don't let anybody talk you out of it.
Nobody.
Don't let anybody tell you you're not good enough, that you can't do it, because God is on your side and he's going to be with you every step of the way. And he's going to make sure that you accomplish what he's called you to do. I decree it in Jesus' name.
That makes me want to speak in tongues. You hear that? That is for you. Your obedience to get in this room, 1 ounce of obedience will do more for you than all the prayer in the world. Your obedience to watch this podcast. We are your answer to tell you get going. I want to say this. Balls to the wall. I can say that because it's my podcast. Balls to the wall. That means don't you take no for an answer. Just because somebody says you're not called, it means you're not called with them to do it.
That's right.
You submit to the Lord and he will elevate you. Shake off that depression. Shake off that fear. Shake off what your parents think about you. Shake off what that ex said about you and get your butt up and do what God has called you to do. We love you.
Yay Networks.